English translation, 192nd contact. Tuesday, 20th March, 1984, 10:38 hours.
Once again, you are in a bad condition, my friend.
It is as easy as ever.
That is of correctness, and you say, in addition, that you are devastated.
Sometimes it just comes.
That would not have to be if you would finally be treated as the person who you really are. I have followed everything and have witnessed the injustices that were started and that were imputed to you. Since your serious breakdown, I have not failed in letting you be observed day and night. You were confused during the first year to such an extent that you were no longer in your fullest sense. But we could never assess that you would have done things that would have been against nature or wrong, even though you often had a lot of trouble in moving yourself within the framework of consciousness. In addition, I must also say that it is a mystery to all of us as to how you can still live and how you could work your way back, because in addition to the evil health damage, which no one can estimate, you have also gotten other things very well in hand again. Although, your health leaves a lot to be desired and is extremely undesirable, and you will probably no longer be healthy. On the contrary, any excitement could kill you, yet you have done something impossible on your own. A small part of the brain and other cerebral parts are partially destroyed and have vanished, whereby facts have been revealed that are also mysterious to our own doctors. For instance, through the disappearance of the cerebral parts, it has been revealed that your speech has been seriously disturbed, but also your memory. You could hardly speak properly, let alone use your memory, which had fallen to just 27.2% of memory capacity. But through your tremendous efforts alone, you could, for the most part, remove this damage again, so the defects are only on a very small scale. Today, when speaking, you still have difficulties and probably will for the rest of your life. Thus, you often cannot correctly pronounce words because your syllables simply get confused, even in the formations of complete sentences, which also leads to the fact that you suddenly swap the letters of words, as it also appears during writing. Often, the words are not complete because you simply no longer express or write out the entire words, which is connected with your memory, which suddenly turns off because you are already a lot further with your thoughts than you are with your words. For us, it was seen as impossible that through your own strength, you were able to come so far again as you are today, even if it is likely to be the highest level that you can reach. But what is not likely to be removed again are the pains, the dizziness, the mental anxiety, and all organic evil. Indeed, you have done something impossible for humans, namely that through the local knowledge of the missing parts of the brain, you have transferred their functions to other parts of the brain and have newly stored everything conceivably possible through hard studies and efforts, which alone would require at least several years with equipment. But the existing damage of the destruction is not to be removed again, and you also know this. And you have also said this to the others, who do not understand it, however. On the other hand, they also do not know what is well known to us, namely, that since the 4th of November, 1982, every night and every day, you have always done whatever is necessary for your death. Yes, we know that very well, my friend. We know that every night and every day, you always prepare for death and that you die many deaths every night and every day. Before your different medicines throw you into sleep, but no one can or wants to understand this, least of all your wife, from whom you have to endure the worst attacks, like before. But we already spoke of that on February 3rd of last year. But it is more than just primitiveness. What proceeded yesterday and the day before yesterday evening with you, and moreover with complete non-authorization, for what you did was perfectly acceptable, and in accordance with the laws and recommendations of the creation. There was no fault in it to be assessed by us, and we would have acted likewise in all the same cases. However, you know how to judge everything better than we do. But it all just confirms our former calculations, namely that the destruction come from your own group and from its outstanding members, as well as directly from your own family circle. Presently, I am also thinking of Wendell Stevens, who has been incarcerated as a result of a boundless primitiveness. But now, my friend, one wants to do the same thing to you, in the same and in an even greater and more serious context, whereby your own wife is considerably involved in this, as well as your daughter, who has also joined forces, for childish reasons, with the lost Thomas in this respect. You see, that is why I can fully understand, also the rest of us, why you have incorporated a television monitoring device in your workroom, so everyone can see what you are doing inside. It was the only solution for you, even if it is the most primitive one that we have ever experienced in our many hundreds of years of life. In addition, you are now the only one in the community who no longer has his own personal space, where you could be alone for yourself. In addition, the whole thing still entails that we can no longer stay in your workroom, where we loved it so much and where we felt at home. And in addition to this, in the future, you have to come to us, far away from all places and human beings, if we want to talk to you or if you call us. As always, all evil is done to you because, as of old, you are the most unwanted and unusually hated person on the earth, because you should bring the truth, the teaching, and peace. And in truth, it is also the case that I have to say once that even we were not always correct toward you, even though you are, in every respect, our example. But often, my friend, we simply felt confused by your Earth humanity and regarded you as an original Earth human. We have often misled ourselves in this, and have seen you in such a manner. How you mimic the perfect Earth human, even though we know that your spirit form is far superior to ours, even if it has to be throttled in its power on the earth up to 27%. It would be good if even the group members would reflect once on that. Then they could perhaps learn to understand that you are the loneliest person on the earth. Thus, for once, I would like to give them a nut to crack and tell them that already for a long time, you have truly no longer been a person, but rather a pure spirit form, who has allowed himself, out of the deepest love, to be pressed and forced into a human body again for 7,007,000,000 years in order to help. Yet how these do give you this agony, even those who should be your allies? It is truly a disgrace, like with the wisest of the wise, referring to Nacademion, whom one calls in the level of the Arahat Athersata, the perfection of love and fulfillment. All of those human beings who are gathered around you should think of that at least once.
You should not talk like that, Quetzal.
That would not be right because with this, I air no secret that would not be good, and that is the truth, and this needs to be said once, so maybe one will even become reflective.
One will call me even more than a crackpot and a lunatic. Therefore, I would be glad if we could regard all these words as being unspoken.
However, that is exactly what we do not want, and that is our common will and firm determination.
Then just not. I will simply have to pay for it.
It will not be quite what you suppose, but it really is bad enough already. I just hope that you will not realize your ideas that you had yesterday in your misery. Nevertheless, you know that if you do it, then the whole mission collapses. And moreover, you would hurl yourself back into your level so you could not become human again.
Yes, I know. That is why I also laid the thing out of the hand again.
With that, you have rid us of an evil fright, for we know very well that you are not afraid of that, and that you stipulated such a solution, without the appearance of guilt and the consequences of guilt, before you committed yourself? In your spirit form at that time, to renewed humanhood, so that in an emergency, if you were no longer able, you could put an end to everything and immediately re-enter your true level.
You really should not talk about these things.
But it is of necessity, my friend. Thus, let the worry of the decision only be my worry. Just think of what one does to you out of the purest jealousy, out of hatred, and out of rage. You should also keep in mind what was done to Wendell Stevens, and that one wants to try the same thing, in an even worse form, with you. But an idea just came to me, so that you will not have to go far away to our contacts. You could turn off the monitoring system in each case when you are not speaking with someone in your workroom. If you are alone in there, then certainly no one can find something wrong with it. And then, we could still come to you, and we could stay in your room that is like a home to us.
You know, I would rather not do that. It would probably be even better if only you would come to the contacts, because sooner or later, the still primitive persons responsible for this will exclaim that I myself had abused Simya Se, Taljda, and the others.
Such has indeed already come to our ears from your own wife and also from the outside, as you know, but that does not trouble us. We know, like in everything else, the truth, and we know the full truth of what you have done and have not done, even if everything is completely different from what is claimed and accepted. But perhaps it would be good in this connection if you would actually stop all assistance, at least for a few years, and actually leave everyone to their own activities of the evil hours.
Then the store and half the world would fall apart.
That is of correctness, and it would also have very serious consequences for them, which they would have to attribute to themselves, as it has always been the case, even when you did not deal with them for just a short time, with full attention being given to assistance, because you simply no longer had the strength, in addition. Nevertheless, it would certainly be good, because maybe this would also be a lesson.
Let us conclude this subject, please. Tell me, please, as to how long and when the meditations for peace should now take place.
As you wish. They will be on the first Saturday and Sunday of each month, namely in the sense that the Saturday meetings and Sunday meetings are valid. Then, after these days, the next meetings follow 14 days later in each case, but also on Saturday and Sunday. The times will remain the same for all days, namely 20 minutes per procedure. At the same time, it is necessary for the core group members that they are all together at these times, and that they form the most important block. Failures may not appear because the ring would be weakened in the wise that there would be a percentage of waste of the entire power, which would be serious for the current small group, because 100% of the power must go out. In addition, the measure of this can be determined by taking the number of group members and dividing it by 100%. Through this, you have the percentage of each group member. Now, the times during which meditations should and must be carried out are, respectively, on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and at 8:00 p.m., and on Sundays at 3:00 p.m. and at 8:00 p.m. In addition, if difficulties arise in relation to the meditation and the initiation of the individual group members, then time changes must be made there. But I will be responsible for ensuring that everything can be changed without harm, without causing difficulties. Furthermore, it is necessary that now all current core group members, except Margaret Rose, subject themselves to the registration in the Sohar Center, which must be accomplished by the 31st of June at the latest. Margaret Rose must be excluded from the group if she does not appear at this next meeting, and even if she does appear, she may not participate in this meditation. All of her fuss is confused, and she cultivates the same thoughts as Amata at that time. If she could remain in the group, then only in the sense that she completes her center meditation and the normal circle meditation. Contact reports may no longer be handed over to her ever again, but may only be read aloud. She is not actually sick, but rather offended because you told her the truth, which she does not want to accept. This is also the reason why she creates fantasies for herself and invents lies, also in relation to her health. If she can still continue to remain in the group, then only by the fact that she does not succumb to the provisions that are of an unpleasant form.
I understand.
That is good. And I would also like you to understand that I am grateful to you for the fact that at that time, you gave me the suggestion to change everything in the Sohar Center so that only persons of the same sex may enter this, without everything being extinguished. We ourselves have also introduced it in this manner, and have gained some great values from it. Concerning this, I am to convey to you the thanks of all our people.
Thanks. But it is not worth mentioning because I only had an ulterior motive here. Namely, so that one could no longer accuse me of the lie that I would harass and abuse our female group members in the center.
We knew that all too well, but we are still grateful for it.
Then so be it.
You have done nothing wrong with your thoughts, which I still must tell you. And now, my dear friend, farewell until next time. Perhaps another solution can yet be found because of your workroom and because of us.
Take care, my friend.
Let us now quite simply and officially say Salami, as we have always held to this, because recently you have thus introduced this with the group members, as it is our custom and right, even if it has not prevailed with the group members yet. Sachlomi.
Salome, my son, Salome. Oh, wait, something else. In the future, I will no longer attempt to describe to the group members the exact points of their emotional centers and the points of their foreheads, and also will not carry out the measurements for the keywords. You see, I also already speak with your words. I also say group members. Somehow something is just not quite right with me.
It is also correct, but I would like to tell you that I do fully understand, and secondly, it is also no obligation for you that you do these things. Finally, it is also not your job to carry out these works. Yet so much in addition. Sachlomi.
Take care in Salome.